Live from DC News Now, this is your local election headquarters.
Well, DC News Now is your local election headquarters. It is primary night in Maryland. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now. I'm Chris Flanagan.
And I'm Susan Tran. We are already getting some projections in Maryland's primary night elections. At the top of the ticket, the AP calling the Democratic primary for incumbent Maryland Governor Wes Moore. AP calling the race for Moore 14 minutes after the polls closed, so it was a quick decision. He had nearly 90% of the votes. He's the only Democratic challenger. That is Eric Felber, the physician who runs a local community clinic. And here is Governor Moore casting his ballot in the primary earlier in the day. For now, it is pushing aside the chatter the Army veteran and Rhodes Scholar has presidential aspirations. But there are 9 Republicans at the top of the ticket primary, including Dan Cox, who lost to Governor Moore back in 2022's general election and has been a GOP constant for statewide offices since 2016. There's also Ed Hale, an Air Force veteran whose priorities include freezing taxes and fully funding law enforcement.
All 8 of the state's congressional districts holding contested primaries tonight, including the 5th district. Longtime Congressman Steny Hoyer will not run for re-election. The longest-serving House Democrat is retiring after 45 years on Capitol Hill. Now, the race to replace him is wide open, with more than 20 candidates trying to win the primary. They include former Prince George's County Executive Rashawn Baker, former Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn, who was on the Hill during the January 6th riot, current at-large Prince George's County Council member Walla Blagay, plus Hoyer's former staffer, State Delegate Adrian Boafo, and Quincy Barabee, who lost to Hoyer in the 2024 primary election. We will have more on the 5th congressional race coming up in just a couple of minutes. Well, Maryland has twice as many registered Democrats as Republicans. Congressional District 1 is currently the only GOP-held seat.
Which means that it is likely the Democrats winning the nomination tonight will fare well in the general election. And we have team coverage for you all across Maryland. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg and Randy Bass are following the 6th congressional race.
But first, let's check in now with DC News Now's Marielle Carbone has been out talking with voters. Marielle, it's been a bit chaotic at that Prince George's County polling station. What happened?
Yeah, Chris and Susan, we are at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church polling location here in Prince George's County, where this evening, some voters had to deal with road closures, detours, and traffic just to get here. That is because earlier this evening, there was a police incident out here. A man in crisis was standing on top of the fencing of the bridge back behind us. You can see some of the road closures still with officers out here. That bridge, Whitfield Chapel Road over Route 50. So police officers were out here negotiating, working to get that man down. I can tell you 8:40 they were able to safely get him down, so they are working to reopen this roadway, but Route 50 was closed, and so a lot of traffic and like I said, detours trying to get to this voting site. Now, we did speak to a poll worker here, and they tell us that there were no impacts really to people getting here. There was alternative routes people could use. The polling site stayed open until 8 as planned. Voters that maybe couldn't get here, they also had the option to go to Prince George's County Board of Elections and vote on a provisional ballot. So they do feel like everything worked out okay for voters here. Now, throughout the evening, we've been all over Chevy Chase, Silver Spring, of course, here in Lanham. And while the priorities really varied by voters, many said big or small, every race on the ballot was important.
They're all very important. I will say county executive was a tough call.
The school board is super important. I mean, we don't want book banners in our schools. We want to keep those out of there, at least me in particular, because I think education is really important, especially to the future of this country.
Yeah, so education, AI, affordability, those were some of the top issues we heard voters talking about out here at the polls. Now, as for this location here, again, you can see that there's still some police officers and cruisers out here. They're working to reopen the roads out here, so they're hoping to have that back open shortly here. Reporting live in Lanham, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you. Now to the 6th congressional district. It is a spicy one, pitting incumbent Representative April McLean Delaney against 7 other challengers here, but none are as threatening as former Congressman David Trone. who wants to reclaim his seat that he left in an unsuccessful Senate bid.
And this is the most expensive race in Maryland history. The latest Federal Election Commission numbers combined, they've spent $33 million to get their message out to voters. So will that all pay off? A look at the results as they're coming in right now. We are looking Ethan Wutchuk with 4%, George Gluck with 2%, but we know right now with about 34% of the vote in, we know according to the Associated Press that Congresswoman April McClain Delaney has just about a 5-point lead over the former Congressman David Trone. Again, that's with about 34% in. Well, DC News Now's Randy Bass joins us live from McClain Delaney's election night watch party in Gaithersburg.
And Randy, some early cheers coming from the crowd. There must be a lot of excitement as she does have a slight edge.
Yes, Chris and Susan, as soon as those results started to pour in here at this election night watch party in Gaithersburg, that's when the cheers really started. A few dozen people here at the Holiday Inn in Gaithersburg, all here to support April McClain Delaney, trying to keep her seat after only being in office now for just about 18 months. Going to show you what it looks like here at this election night watch party. A steady crowd has started to trickle in now about an hour after polls closed and some of those first results started to come in. April McClain Delaney showing an early lead with 44% of the vote compared to David Trone's 39% share. They're separated, though, by less than 1,000 ballots, and it's still really early. We all know anything can happen. We are still awaiting the arrival of the Congresswoman here today. Earlier tonight, we caught up with her and Maryland Governor Wes Moore, both making stops in Gaithersburg this evening, chatting up voters. They got a warm welcome there from volunteers, voters, and other Democratic candidates in the last few hours of voting in Maryland. This really was a can't-miss race, even if you wanted to try and miss it on TV, on radio. Saw those attack ads all the time the last few months, centering heavily on local and national immigration issues and policy. Both April McClain Delaney and David Trone, who previously held this congressional seat, they both have very large personal fortunes, each of them tapping into millions of dollars in funds for this seat in Congress. Spending for this primary race topping $30 million. Maryland's 6th District requires candidates to really play both sides, known for being more purple than other Maryland districts, leaning more red west of Hagerstown and more blue in population centers east and south of Frederick. But one thing everybody's talking about is affordability. We asked the Congresswoman about affordability. Earlier on this afternoon, we also asked her about what it's like to run in a race with so many eyes on her and her opponent.
This will be the most expensive primary in the House in its history, almost $37 million. I do think it's a tremendous waste of resources, particularly since I feel like I've done a great job as a member of Congress and in a very chaotic, even to turn the House seats. But I'm glad we're getting to the other side. Unfortunately, a lot of negativity that went back and forth, and I really decided to end on a positive note. I said, no more, enough of this.
Again, still very early on, still waiting on the Congresswoman's arrival here. She's expected to speak at some point this evening. We'll bring you those remarks here on DC News Now when she takes the podium. For now, in Gaithersburg, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, let's head over to our DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg, who joins us live there at David Trone's primary election night watch party in Frederick.
All right, so Daniel, he spent about $25 million of his own money on this campaign. What is the vibe like right now at that watch party at the brewery?
Chris and Susan, it's pretty tame here. People are just mingling, getting a bite to eat. Pretty calm right now. About 2.5 hours ago, I spoke with David Trone, who said that he is excited about today, and he thinks that his message has been resonating with voters. He was all over the district from Gaithersburg up to Hagerstown and back down here to Frederick, where he will be here in just a little bit. Now, this has been a race, of course, very interesting because he wants his seat back that he held from 2019 to 2025 before he gave it up to run unsuccessfully for Senate against Angela Alsobrooks. Now, he has been in a back and forth battle with April McClain Delaney with those TV ads basically bashing each other over the airwaves. He said he is really hitting hard on her over her vote for the Laken Riley Act, which basically gave ICE a requirement to detain unauthorized immigrants accused of theft and violent crimes. And he touted his support of abortion rights and his endorsement from Reproductive Justice Maryland. Though both candidates have voiced their opposition to President Trump, he is positioning himself as even further to the left of April McClain Delaney.
We took this seat back because of the fact that the incumbent, she's chosen to vote with Trump 22% of the time on important bills that are anti-immigrant, anti-abortion, anti-LGBTQ, and anti-environment. And that's not who this district is. I mean, these are Democrats here, and they do not vote with Trump on these important bills.
And so, as you mentioned earlier, $25 million of his own money spent on this campaign is a lot of money. We will have to see if it pays off in this election, and we will see him later tonight. We're now live in Frederick. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
All right, Daniel, keep in mind he spent about $63 million of his own money when he ran for the U.S. Senate a couple years ago. In the Republican primary for the 6th Congressional District, Robin Ficker, an Army veteran, has a slight lead in the polls tonight. He is facing Chris Burnett, a Marine Corps veteran, and Mariella Roca, an Air Force veteran as well. Well, voters in Montgomery County are faced with an important decision as term limits are forcing out Executive Mark Elrich.
He's opposed to that initiative passed in 2024 that limits county executives to just 2 consecutive terms. And 3 county council members are running for the nomination. Will Jawando with a slight lead right now over Andrew Friedson and Evan Glass. You can see right now that he has 37% of the vote, but that's just a slight edge. Over in the Montgomery County Executive GOP primary, there's Esther Wells campaigning on bringing more transparency to taxpayer dollars, and Shelley Skolnick, an attorney who has run and lost in the 8th congressional primary in 2012, 16, and 20. And right now you can see he is far behind and trailing Esther Wells at 61%.
All right, meanwhile, in Prince George's County, incumbent Aisha Braveboy is an overwhelming favorite to maintain her position as county executive. You can see her right now. She has a commanding lead over the rest of the field, almost lapping the 4 other Democrats challenging her for that seat. There is no Republican candidate for county executive. In the at-large council race, 8 Democrats are in the running. Right now, Jolene Ivey has a 17 percentage point lead over Sidney Harrison, Janet Jacobs, and Keith Washington as well, rounding out the top 4 there.
Be sure to stay with DC News Now as we have continuing coverage of Maryland's primary. We will be sure to bring you the very latest results as they come in. You can also stay on top of the details on our website, dcnewsnow.com.
All right, let's get a first check on this primary night in Maryland, the forecast. And you know what? If you went to the polls later in the day or early evening, you were okay.
Yes.
Probably needed the umbrella early, though.
Yes. Earlier this morning, we had that soaking rainfall across much of the area. Thankfully, that did clear out, mid to early afternoon, especially farther off towards the north and west, and then closer towards, the district. Southern Maryland took a little bit longer. So thankfully, that has cleared out. We're going to be tracking those clear skies through the overnight tonight. High pressure back with us. Wednesday's looking really nice out there. I would say that is the pick of the week. So again, we're tracking the gradual clearing of those skies. Cooler temperatures too, eventually. I mean, out there right now, 60s to low 70s at this point, currently 72 in DC. We're seeing those lower 70s towards Hagerstown, holding at 70 in Annapolis and Lexington Park. And overnight tonight, with those clear skies, we have a breeze out of the west-northwest. Temperatures will drop back in the upper 50s to low 60s. I know I was saying this last week when we had really nice weather and refreshing and lower dew points. Tonight might be the night where you can give the AC a break, open up those windows, allow that fresh air to come in. So a cool, crisp start out there into tomorrow morning. Highs tomorrow afternoon, lower 80s. That's several degrees below normal for this time of the year. We also have low humidity and that sunshine too. Doesn't get much better than the forecast for the day tomorrow, but it's going to heat up later this week, so take advantage of tomorrow. More details and the rest of that 7-day coming up.